Okay, this is better for lighting. Perfect. All right. So, Patrick, great to have you on board our new episode of Leaders Cut the BS. I'm so happy to have you here. I love, for first of all, the what's his name? The Star Wars icon on your left, Frodo.
Yeah, that's Yoda. He assists me in my daily work.
Yeah, you give off a bit the sensei vibe. That's amazing. I love it. So Patrick, you're joining in from Germany. I have family from there. I love it. I was just in Berlin. So you're a doctor. I don't know if I should call you doctor, but quick small thing about you. You're a patent attorney. You have huge passion for the space and you know how to in patentability of IT inventions, and also you research a lot and are dynamic in the field of AI. And you're part of a massive firm called Badele Pagenberg. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but listen, it's
No, that's
better you
correct. That's
introduce
correct.
yourself. For the audience who don't know Patrick Heckler, who are you? Who is Patrick?
Yeah, my name is Patrick, and as you already said, I'm a patent attorney, German patent attorney, and European attorney, and also a UPC representative. I joined Bardele in 2014. I partnered several years ago, and my technical background is computer science. And yeah, besides my attorney work, which covers both prosecution and litigation, I'm heading our internal AI team. So we are in charge, my team and I, to introduce AI systems, AI tools, and provide assistance or support to our colleagues, teach them how to use them. And yeah, so quite a lot of work to do for me in this area nowadays, because yeah, AI systems and the whole AI domain changes so rapidly and evolves so rapidly. Super exciting domain. So I'm really happy to be involved in this technical scenario right now.
Amazing. Patrick, yeah, I think you're one of the only lawyers I met that has a science background, or at least someone in the law firm, so that has a partner role. So that's really impressive. That's very, very exciting to hear. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of insightful discussions on this. Curious to know more. So just for people who don't know you in detail at work, you know, where do you spend most what do you spend most of your time thinking about at work?
In with respect to AI or with respect to my typical attorney work?
In general, I would say where does your thought process, where do your thoughts where what do you dream about, or what do you think about the most?
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm involved both in prosecution and patent litigation. That's my daily business, and I'm of course thinking a lot about all my pending cases and so forth. But yeah, 1.5 or 2 years ago, um, AI came up and yeah, found its way in my daily business. So my thoughts changed a bit. I'm thinking a lot of integration, how to combine attorney work. We are service providers, right? And how could we leverage AI? Where are the chances? Where are the risks? These are meanwhile my daily thoughts, especially as our AI team leader. I'm in charge to make good decisions in this respect. So yeah, that's now a new pillar, a new realm of my daily work is thinking about AI. How could we use it and so forth.
Amazing. I love it. And what do you feel is the most surprising thing about your role for people?
The most amazing thing,
Surprising. What
well,
surprises people the most about what you do?
yeah, well, it's I oftentimes see that people are surprised how fast the AI domain develops, and I think we really did a good job in the past months and past years to keep up with this pace, to be always up to date what AI technology is, and yeah, for several people this is kind of amazing or surprising because it's not easy, but thanks to my great team which actually covers 8 to 10 members, which are all technically qualified. We've been able to manage that.
Amazing. I love it. I love it. 8 to 10 members, that's a big team, man. Even in engineering software companies. So that's amazing. So let's zoom in your inside the workflow a bit. So walk us through a normal week for you, your team. Where do you feel work tends to pile up?
Um, yeah, again, we regularly meet in our team and try to identify reasonable use cases, reasonable scenarios where we can use AI. We do a lot of prototyping, because what's important to us is that we are always up to date with respect to capabilities of AI, and we have hundreds of ideas,
Mm,
and many of them are, so to say, realistic, and you can somehow implement them, but you have to find out whether this really works.
mm,
So lots of work for me and my team is prototyping, testing creating small implementations for any kind of scenario, and testing it, and then deciding whether it makes sense to further improve the prototype and bring it up into a full product, so to say, that we can internally use, or whether it's more reasonable to discard it, for example, because
mm.
it's presently not realistic that this will really work in practice. So
Wow.
that's a big pillar of our daily or weekly work in our team.
Amazing. So if you can share a bit more to the audience, like if feel free, I mean what you can share, but so you don't use Harvey, Legora, all these platform, the big ones that charge the crazy. You decided to do it your own. What has worked? Like what do you feel what's been the prototypes that have been working that you've seen create success? And what are the ones you're still trying to figure out or working on?
So we have, of course, tested all these commercially available tools, or most of them. All that's not possible. Um, and many tools, I think, are not yet suitable to us, because we are a highly specialized law firm. We do IP only, and many tools are or have a different focus, right?
Mm,
And therefore they are not really suitable for us. As you know, many tools are around that support you in patent drafting, for example, or in prosecution work. And here we try to be up to date by testing all these tools. We have identified several ones that are now in a really good state, that can assist you, that really provide benefit and create good results. But this rapidly changes. The tool that leads today could be be deprecated tomorrow. that's
yeah.
that's how it is right now. And what we also do is, of course, a lot of testing with specific models.
Mm,
As you know, different models, or all the models have different capabilities. Some are faster, some are more precise, are good in analyzing documents. Some others are more creative, so to say. And here you have to find out how you can use these models in your different tasks. Which model suits best for which task? And this also rapidly changes, because the models are regularly updated. Then you have to test again,
wow.
and so forth. And we are, of course, using kind of generic AI tools. So we have access to models, and you have a chat-based front end, so to say,
Yeah.
with, of course, enhanced capabilities, with a better document management and so forth.
Yeah.
And that allows us to integrate AI in our case processing. So where AI is really good is in processing lots of documents, identifying information, and so forth. That's where we heavily use AI. But and with respect to prototyping, we tried to develop kind of simple tools that assist our attorneys, but also our other employees. For example, things like language improvers, which assist you in optimizing your language. We are German-based firms. Most of our employees are German native speakers,
Yeah.
but 80 to 90% of our business is in English language. And that's where AI can really provide great leverage if you could simply improve the language of a brief or an email and so forth. And we try to automate this as much as possible, so that the tools the employees can use provide some kind of guidance. It's not just prompting an AI as you would do with ChatGPT, but we create some kind of a framework, so you can use it in a comfortable way. And that's how we create our prototypes. It's about thinking, having an idea, implementing as a prototype, providing a framework, and then making it accessible to, at a first stage, to a test team, but afterwards, hopefully, to the whole firm.
That's amazing, Patrick. Great work. I'm so impressed. And I wanted to ask also, like, for you, Patrick, and your team, what do you feel, or maybe your firm, and the stakeholders, what do you feel is the kind of task that eats up the most of the time, but nobody really questions?
With respect to attorney work, I guess, right? So, yeah, case management. Case
Mm,
management is one of the tasks that require lots of time, and here I think AI can really provide good assistance.
mm,
AI is good at parsing documents, as I already said. So if you have to manage a case with 10 briefs, 30 exhibits, and so forth, preliminary opinions of the court, and that's difficult to handle. Typically, years ago, you printed it out, you had a pile of papers on your desk, and you went through it, and now you can do that within seconds using an AI tool, which really saves time.
mm. Wow. Okay. And when you feel things get busy for you and your team in this case management, like what do you feel usually breaks first, or what's the thing that is hard to keep going when things get really busy?
Well, actually, every day is very busy at an IP only firm, so we are used to handle that. What's where AI can really help is, yeah, in some parts saving time,
Mm,
but on the other hand, it can of course be used to ensure high quality. So if things are getting busy, you have to speed up,
yeah.
right? And AI can be used as a tool to try to avoid mistakes, right?
Mm,
It can be used as kind of a sparring partner to discuss arguments or to check a brief for inconsistencies and so forth. This could really help in pressure times.
yeah. And but speaking about pressure times, and I know that we ourselves built models, for example, MCP servers, and we spent like 6 months building on Llama, for example, open source. And then
Mhm.
ChatGPT
Mhm.
releases a new feature, and then everything we built for 6 months, it's like now we can do it in a few days on ChatGPT, for example. And then you do the same thing on OpenAI, and then Claude releases something, and then what you spent 2 months building on ChatGPT, now you can do in a few days on Claude. And then in Claude, when you spent 3 months on building on Claude, now Claude itself releases a new features and what you spent
Yeah,
three. So how do you
I know,
handle?
I know. Well, so what we try to do with respect to our implementations that we do on our own, we try to do them in an AI agnostic way, which means that we try to create good interfaces to the models. So then from a technical perspective, it's not so difficult to switch to another model if a newer one is released. I
Yeah,
think that's really important to focus on such kind of flexible architecture, due to the rapidly changing AI landscape. So that's really crucial and important that you have a flexible architecture. Nevertheless, if you have some kind of tool or prototype using a specific model, it has been tested with this model, and if you are starting using a new model, you have of course do another round of testing and see whether the new model provides the same or better results.
yeah.
That's something you have to do, and yeah. that's I think this is also really an important task, because you cannot simply rely, hey, there's a new model and I'm pretty sure that it works better.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case. So testing, yeah, that's overhead you have to do, and you have to save time by good software architectures that you are that's easy to exchange models.
Yeah. So great software architecture, so more modular, where you can
Yeah.
change the engine, but it's the same kind of chassis or like same like
Mhm.
dashboard or interface. And the second is not every new model is going to be better. So now comes the question of how do you test and prototype since you have hundreds of ideas, and how do you like what's already working and what's needs to like change, like how do you know what needs to change and how do you measure that change is better, because there are eval metrics and but also there's this qualitative when the lawyer tells you I feel they feel this one is better, but we don't know why, just the feeling, it just feels like it's better. So how do you handle this and how do you measure and how do you prototype, how do you go through this process?
Well, we of course also rely on benchmark information, benchmark results, when it comes to choosing models. That's kind of a pre-selection information that we of course use. But yeah, it's absolutely right. You have to test it on your own, and it's very difficult to create deterministic test cases, so to say. That's almost impossible for AI. So here you need experienced users that if a new case starts, then we try to use a new model, and we have to carefully review the AI output, so to say, and then to check on our own. And this is of course a bit subjective, of course, whether we are satisfied with the results. So there's no, of course, there are automatic test cases, but this is done by the benchmark guys, right? So there's no reason for us to really repeat that. We try to test it on our own as manually, because here human review is really important, and you need experienced attorneys. So if an AI creates something, you need an experienced guy who is able to judge whether this is good output or whether this is just crap or AI slop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we we of course try to keep our software stable, so we don't change models if it's not really necessary, right? If we were happy or are happy with a model for a certain task, we try to stick with this model, to avoid heavy manually testing. But from time to time, you have to upgrade maybe, or for cost reasons you have to choose another one, and then yeah, that's why we have around about 10 team members, so that we have quite a bunch of people at hand that are able to reasonably test from an attorney point of view our AI systems.
Amazing, amazing. And Patrick, when it comes to, so you spoke about case management, it seems like you built something around that. Do you feel like it's at the grade of like the Legora, because you've tested a lot? So because I speak to a lot of partners that for them Legora is a brand and it's a wow factor, and but they don't understand that you can with Cloud Cowork and Cloud Code you can like there's so much open
Mhm.
source out there that you can do something, but because they don't have the experience to build and they don't want to take the risk, so they pay $300,000 for 20 user seats for something that maybe is not used that much or doesn't produce the ROI. So like what's your advice, what's when you went through this, like do you feel like for case management it's able in your workflow able to do case summarization, able to actually draft contracts with connection to all the legal in like legal clauses out there? Like walk us through deep a case study or something you feel like is a lesson that you've learned while doing this.
So what's really important to know is that all these commercial tools, they, they are great and innovative and so forth, but they have a strong focus on common law firms. And
Mm,
if you are running a big international law firm with thousands of attorneys, there's lots of repetitive work. creating contract templates and so forth. And for this kind of task and for these kind of firms, it really makes sense maybe to invest in such a tool. But for us as an IP firm, our projects are very specific, and therefore it's very important that we are able to adapt our AI tools to our specific needs, or even to specific needs for a case. That's really important for us. And on the other hand, I think this provides a chance of creating USPs for us, right? If everyone uses the same AI tool, everyone produces the same output. And what we want to do is we want to bring our knowledge into the AI systems, create USPs, perfectly tailor the AI tools to our needs, so that they really provide assistance, not just speeding up things, but also with a strong focus on improving quality. AI really provides lots of chances, automation, of course, but I think we should focus on the quality aspect, not just speeding up things.
Yeah. And okay, that's great. And so I hear you that the IP is unique, it's different, it's like more niche, and you want to do something custom. So that's why it's more customized. So maybe walk us through an area where also the downside. So there's the upside that you customize it, it's more internal, you fast prototype, etc. But what did you try and what didn't really work the way you hoped?
We had many prototypes that didn't provide the results that we expected, right? For example, as that AI is good in parsing documents, but it has certain weaknesses when it comes to creating creative arguments, right? And so you have two principles how you can use AI. I think one is the famous human in the loop principle. So you use an AI and you are just controlling what the AI is doing and whether it's correct or not. But what I've seen specifically in complex IP cases, if I use an AI and ask the AI to run my case, so to say, create an argument for this and that and so forth, it's oftentimes medium quality, I would say. But yeah, that's the reason why we try to work according to the human in the lead principle. It's not just controlling the AI output, but providing the input to the AI, so that the AI follows my thoughts and generates the text for that. And yeah, with this, we have achieved much better results.
Hello, Patrick. Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute. I don't know if yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, there was a small glitch, but you're speaking about the human in the lead. I love it because it's the first time I hear it. So sorry, can you pick up from there? What do you mean by human in the lead?
Yeah. So the typical principle many users apply is the human in the loop, where you, so to say, let the AI do the creative work and just control the output. And for our specific cases, this doesn't really work.
Mm.
So what we do is we apply the human in the lead principle, which means that you feed in your thoughts into the AI system and then let the AI do some work. And then you have, of course, to do a bit of steering work and so forth, but you will achieve much, much better results. So if I want to create an argument why a patent is infringed, or
Mm.
I could ask the AI, hey, create some arguments. Why is this patent infringed? And
Mm.
the AI comes up with some soundy text which reads very good, but the argument quality isn't that good. But
Mm.
if I feed in my thoughts and say, hey, the patent is about this and that's the potentially infringing product, and I have this thoughts and that thoughts and so forth, and use my brain, so to say,
Yeah.
to um, push the AI into the right direction, this is certainly something that produces much, much better results. And
Yeah.
that's the work principle that we apply. So it's
Amazing.
not about pure automation. And this could really improve quality, because I have maybe 3 to 5 good ideas why a patent is infringed or not. And if I provide this input the AI is able maybe to create a fixed argument, which
Yeah.
I overlooked or something like that, right? But if I just trigger the AI and say, hey, do something and create some arguments and so
Yeah.
forth, this is at best medium quality, right? Because
Yeah.
that's maybe one weakness of an AI. It still lacks a bit of creativity. It's a mathematical model at the end,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we think the more successful way to operate with AI is the human in the lead principle.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a sound jingle. It feels good because it's right. Because also the AI is trained on all the data out there on the internet. So it's like
Mhm.
predicting the next token, the likelihood. But I think what you're saying
Exactly.
is a better framework for prompt engineering. So when I'm leading with, and
Mhm.
even there are many people that say the better the prompt, the better the context window, the better it's going to that like it will have divergent properties and come with a creative
Mhm.
thing on that. So I love how you put it. Very, very, very wise. Now you are sounding like Yoda. Like
It was his idea, yeah. So I'm just repeating that.
amazing. So now in the more ROI sense. So because it's hard to influence people to use if you don't show a clear ROI or time saving. So if one of your processes ran smoother, what would that free up
Mhm.
your team to do? Like, and how do you manage this when you come to do a new AI model or new thing? Like, how do you present this, and what now do you feel can save a lot of time to your team?
Yeah, so rolling out these new tools, that's quite a bit of work. In our firm, we have regularly attorney training sessions where we focused on in the past years on case law discussions. And what we meanwhile do is we have an AI part introduced in these training sessions on a regularly basis. So that's how we try to ensure that everyone is up to date. But what we of course see, and that's always when new technology comes up, we have some young motivated patent attorneys here. They are power users, so to say, and they're fully familiar with all the AI capabilities. No real need for training these guys, but we have of course also other attorneys that are not so tech interested, right? And that's why we also have different kind of trainings for the more experienced users and for the less experienced users, because we think it's really important that everyone is able to use or to make use of AI, to have this leverage. There are persons that use it much more than other ones, but I think it's really important that everyone is on board.
Yeah. And if you would select one workflow in your company, if that runs smoother, if that ran better, more efficient, using AI or not. So what would this actually look like if you had a magic wand and AI could just make it better? Or how would that what would that free up your team? How would it
Yeah,
look
what we try to do is we have of course automated workflows that
like?
are typical IT-based automation systems, but you reach borders, right? And cross these borders, we try to use AI. If you have, for example, unstructured data, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to create some kind of automation that really works. And for these kind of processes, AI is a really good opportunity to create more automation. And this, yeah, we try to automate monkey work, so to say, right? And if these
Thank you.
processes are running smoothly,
Yeah.
yeah, if these processes are running smoothly, that creates yeah, a lot of free capacities that we could spend in other tasks, more important tasks, being more creative with respect to our casework, or whatever it is, right? That's
Yeah.
why you always have to work in both realms: automation to be efficient, and on the other hand, use AI for improving quality. I think that's you have to keep the balance, and that's, I think, a really good approach that will be successful on the long run.
Amazing. So we're entering the last sections here, Patrick. So thinking about everything you've seen, is there a specific workflow, habit, meeting where leaders should just honestly cut the cut the BS because it looks productive but really isn't? So feel free, let it all out, and feel free to quote cut the BS or say whatever you want. Basically, release it all.
Yeah, what's really important specifically for leaders that have to make decisions with regard the introduction of AI systems. First of all, create knowledge. It's really important to understand how AI works. This is the most important thing, that you are in a position to make the right and good decisions. And on the other hand, what's also important, AI is certainly a great tool, but there is, of course, a certain level of hype, right?
Mm.
AI can't do everything right now. It can
Yeah.
do a lot. It can assist you in a lot of ways, but it's no magic. It's no magic. It's mathematics.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to understand if you are planning what you want to do within the next maybe 2 to 3 years using AI, right? I've heard plans, and we transform, we digitalize everything, and AI does everything, and so forth. And that's not what I believe what's the right way. Yeah? You have to make the good decisions where you can place AI tasks in your firm. It's not that this does not only apply to law firms. I think that's
Yeah.
true for every kind of business, right?
Mm.
There's a certain degree of transformation, right? That's when computers were introduced, when the internet came up. This changed your working, your business, your working days, and AI will also change it. And that's why you have to transform up to a certain degree, but you have to do that in a clever way. And you have to carefully think about it where it does make sense. Where are the risks, where are the chances, and you need. Now we are in a phase where we still are creating knowledge on this new technology, right? With respect to a computer or whatever, that doesn't really change, right? Maybe a
Yeah.
new computer is a bit faster, but it doesn't provide new capabilities.
Yeah.
AI comes up with new capabilities every week. Um, some of these capability, that's nonsense. Some are great, right? And you have to be aware of these differences and then carefully decide when to use it, where to use it, how to use it,
Yeah.
what are the effects, how much training effort is needed, and so forth. Because it's very difficult if you run a big company or a big law firm and you have to conduct training sessions, comprehensive training sessions once per month, right? That's unrealistic. We don't have the time for that. So you really have to think about, hey, that's a cool prototype. It worked. Let's bring it to a productive tool. Let's make a productive tool out of it. Have a comprehensive training session and then use it, right? And then you have to think about before whether this, how long will last, or how long can you use this tool. And I think it should be in a range of maybe 2 to 3 years where you can use it without major updates,
Mm.
right? Because otherwise you are only working on AI and not on attorney work, right?
Mm.
We still have to run our business. We cannot only play around with AI. So here you have to find a good trade-off, so to say, how you use it. And the more knowledge about AI you have, the more experience you have, um, the easier it is to make the right decisions. And at the moment, yeah, it's a lot about decision making. This certainly applies to every business.
I love it. I love it. I think you have so much knowledge. I think you can easily write blogs every now and then. I think you will have a lot of people following you because you have a lot of knowledge on this area. So super inspiring. One last question. So if you could give one
Mhm.
piece of advice to leaders dealing with the same thing, same career path or same situation, challenges you've been in, what would that advice be?
Yeah, don't be scared of AI. Consider it as a chance and get in touch with it, use it, create knowledge. This brings you in a good position for making the right decisions for the future.
I love it. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much, Patrick.